Hi friends, it's Mary and I am so excited to take part in the YouTube Mommy Meetup's Crocktober collaboration. I hope that after this video you'll take a look at the playlist in the description box below to check out even more fantastic crockpot ideas from other YouTube moms. In this video, I'm going to share one of my favorite crockpot recipes, which is a super simple crockpot chicken and dumplings. This recipe was shared to me by my mom and is something so simple that even a very novice cook like myself can complete. Now, I will warn you, this recipe is not super visually appealing. It doesn't look like it belongs on the Pinterest front page, but it is delicious, super easy, warm comfort food, and it is perfect for this fall weather. I hope that you will give this recipe a try, and I hope that you really enjoy it.
What you'll need for this recipe, I'll have specific measurements in the description box below where I have the recipe. But what you'll need for this recipe is some all-purpose flour, cream of chicken soup, cooked shredded chicken, a can of biscuits. You can pretty much get any kind that you like. Even the honey biscuits, I had those one time and they turned out pretty good. I like the sweetness in it. Some pepper, some ground chicken bouillon, and also you'll also add 2 cans of water, which I'll use once I open up the cream of chicken. So you put the amounts in the description below for the recipe into the crock pot, and I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back with you once I'm done to show you what it looks like. While I was adding the ingredients, I remembered I did want to stop by and give you guys a note about the chicken. What I like to use is already cooked frozen shredded chicken that I make in the crock pot, and I'll probably do a video for that for you guys soon. If I do have a video up, I'll make sure to link it, but it's super easy, and I love having these packets. I usually do 2 cups at a time when I freeze them. I love having them in the freezer. If you're doing this for the long cooking time, I've never had an issue just dumping the whole frozen block in there. It dethaws and it's already cooked, so no issue of that. So that's just a tip. You can already have the chicken ready, and that's one of the things I love about this recipe. Sorry, you hear my little girl? That's one of the things I love about this recipe is you can already have the chicken ready in the freezer, have a can of biscuits, just have everything in the pantry. It's a very pantry meal. You don't have to worry about having a lot fresh. Okay, so I do have to caution you that nothing about this recipe is appealing. I actually, when I first wrote up the recipe to share with others, I tried to take a picture of it, and it's even the end product is not like the pretty Pinterest pictures, but it is delicious comfort food that's easy to make. So this is the first, sorry, my baby girl's playing over here in the toy room. So this is the first step. I've got the frozen cooked shredded chicken and all of the other ingredients except for the biscuits here in the crock pot. And you can see the flour's kind of floating. I stirred it, but you just continue to stir it if you're going to be home. You don't have to. It all kind of mixes with itself. But typically I try to stir it 2 to 3 times throughout the day, and it just seems to help it mesh a little bit better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up the biscuits. I think the recipe says to cut it into 4ths. I typically do 6ths because I'd rather have smaller bites of dumplings throughout the food rather than larger dumplings in smaller amounts. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll layer those on top, and I'll come back when I've done that to show you what it looks like. So once you are done cutting up the biscuits that will make your dumplings, you just layer them on top of the mixture, and you just cover and turn it on low for 4 to 6 hours, or you can even cook it a little bit longer if you want. It won't hurt anything, and obviously keep it on warm if you need it for a full work day or something like that. If you are able to stir this throughout the day, like I said, I normally do 2 to 3 times through the day if I'm home. That's great. You can also not stir it if you're not home, and that's okay. The dumplings will get super crispy on top. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, and it may be your preference. I've had it both ways. I prefer it stirred, but it's not terrible if it's not stirred. So I'll be back later to show you what it looks like all done. Okay, so here is the end product. This has been cooking all day. You see the flour and everything thickened up quite nicely. It's just a little bit golden brown, and like I said, this does not look appealing, I know, but it is such a good comfort food meal, and so easy. It's delicious. And besides, I don't think any chicken and dumplings really looks appetizing anyways. So I'm gonna plate this up and I'll be back in a minute. And here is your delicious, hearty, super easy Crockpot chicken and dumplings meal. This is a meal that we love, and that has been so simple. Even me as a very novice cook can do it. So one other thing that you can add if you like it, we love putting some frozen corn in here towards the last 30 minutes. I didn't do it in this dish because we may be sharing it with some others who I don't know if they'd like it or not, but the corn adds a little bit of sweetness and texture that really adds to this dish, and so we typically do it if it's just going to be us eating. So super easy, only a few moments to put in the crock pot, and it's ready to go for you at the end of the day. The recipe will be in the description box below, and I hope that you'll check out all the other videos that are part of this collab for Crocktober. I know I am super excited to get some new meal ideas out of those videos as well. That will be linked in the description box below. And I hope that if you're not already, you'll subscribe so that you can see all of my adventures in cooking and the recipes that I have found that works for me as a novice cook. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.